Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Q&A. I haven't done a Q&A in such a long time. I think the last time I did a Q&A, it was a Snapchat Q&A, and it was like early 2016, so it's been well over a year, and I am ready to answer some questions. I asked you guys on my Twitter to send me some juicy, interesting questions. I didn't want it to be a boring Q&A, you know, me telling you like how old I am, where I was born, all that stuff. Like, it's boring, and I'm sure you guys don't care. So if I didn't answer a question that you wanted answered, definitely leave me some questions in the comment section down below, so the next time I do a Q&A, I can do a YouTube version of this Q&A. Today is completely Twitter. So without further ado, let's get right into this Q&A. Heavenly Dunn on Twitter asked, worst date you've ever had? Kevin is actually my first ever boyfriend. I've never had a boyfriend before him. And actually before him, I never really even dated anyone or been on a date prior to Kevin. I know that's kind of hard to believe. I was definitely more of a person that would do hookups and would just kind of sleep around, and you know, I was a little, you know, Tatiana. I was hoeing around back in the day. I guess I have more of a worst hookup story. I lost my virginity at 16, just throwing that out there. Hi mom. I went over to his place and we were, you know, doing it or whatever. He asked me to pee on myself in front of him on his sheets. He didn't care if it got on the sheets. And
I am disgusted. You better talk to her before I do, because I'm hurt her feelings.
I didn't do it. I told him no, I can't go. She asked, what's the thing you hate the most about the beauty industry? I think the thing I hate the most about the beauty industry is, I mean, everyone says this, but it's the drama. I think that there's some drama that is warranted, that is like, that should be there, you know, like when it comes to like someone being racist or someone being transphobic or someone saying something ignorant. I get why that there's drama there, and I definitely think that that drama is almost like in a way important to happen, because obviously that person needs to learn, and it's also a learning experience for a lot of people. But when it comes to like this person saying this or this person doing this, or you know, just the drama behind the scenes, like I feel like this industry is very high school-esque. Like it's like clicks after clicks. Queer Screaming asked, when is it acceptable to forgive someone for problematic, in parentheses, homo, trans, xenophobic, racist, ableist behavior? That's a very good question. Honestly, I don't think I could answer that. Let's say someone's being racist towards black people. It's not up to me, someone who's white, to say I forgive that person, because not only is their racist comments aren't affecting me. Them being racist isn't affecting me because I'm white. Same thing if, you know, I was to be Latino and that person was racist towards a black person, it doesn't affect me. So I think it's important to understand that that group that person's being problematic towards, they're the ones that decide when this person deserves to be forgiven. And I think it's important for someone like me, who is white, who has white privilege, to check people like, you know, this person or this person who is being problematic, being xenophobic, being transphobic, being racist, to use my platform and use my voice to be like, hey, this isn't right and I disagree with what you're doing. But at the end of the day, them saying that will never affect me and will never hurt me as much as it would hurt the audience or the group that they're being prejudiced towards. Frayla Rose asks, what is the most wildest thing you've ever done? I gotta be honest with you, I'm not one to be adventurous or do crazy things. I have horrible anxiety, and doing crazy shit is a bit much for me. Literally being in a crowd of people scares me. Going on a plane scares me. Going in a car scares me. Like, honestly, everything scares me. Honestly, I would say the wildest thing I've ever done was back in January of 2016. I was in LA here for Gen Beauty, and I was only gonna stay for like a week or two. I was so obsessed with being here, being in LA and like staying here, that I didn't even cancel my flight. I just didn't go on my flight back home to North Carolina. I just stayed. I didn't have money to just be staying in LA like that. And I also didn't have money coming in to just be staying in LA like that, to be able to fly back home. I've lived so much life in that 7 months. Like, I partied, I was a kid, I was a teenager, and I was able to live life to the fullest like I've never done before. And that was only because as a kid I had to grow up fast. And if you are like me, who had to like grow up super, super fast as a kid, you would know that you didn't have time to just be playing, partying. You didn't have time to be a kid. I mean, I regret it a little bit, because if I had went back home at that time, I would have probably been a little bit more successful than I am now. Alex asked, how was your first time? What an interesting question, Alex. I definitely fooled around with guys before, and I've kissed guys before then, but my actual like losing my virginity for the first time was a Grindr hookup, and it was with like this random guy that I had no idea who he was. And yeah, that's that. It hurt a lot, and I never talked to him again. I honestly did it just because I was wanting it to be gone. Honestly, when it comes to like intercourse and like sex and stuff like that, I don't take it as seriously as a lot of people do. I don't take losing my virginity like seriously. You know what I mean? Kodak 6 Lack, I know it's Kodak Black, but whatever, asked, who's the rudest YouTuber you've ever met? Honestly, there's a lot of YouTubers that I've met in person that I was just like, oh, that's how you act? There's a few, and I don't want to name any names because I don't want to do that, but there's a few. I don't really take them being rude to like personally. I know that when it comes to being at events that are crowded, it can be kind of like overwhelming, and these people are just like, girl, what do you want? I can be like that too sometimes. Like, I'll be standing around an event with a fucking looking all mad, like looking around like this, what? But I don't take it seriously, honestly. I just feel like some people, they're either having a bad day or they just don't get. There's some people that just, they're like, damn, you really got an attitude for no reason all the time, huh? But besides that, yeah, there's been a few here. Marina Garcia asked, do you honestly truly hate James Charles or no? I wanted to include this question in this video simply because a lot of people just took what I said back in February and ran with it since then. Honestly, I don't hate James Charles. He used to be a dear friend of mine. In fact, I knew him since he was even James Charles. I knew him when he only had 2,000 followers on his Instagram. I was friends with him since late 2015. I've been friends with him for a long time, and I've known him personally. I used to talk to him every single day. We used to be very, very close. He's helped me out a lot, and I've helped him out a lot. What happened that day in February this year on Twitter was me being insecure and him having people in his ear, and it was just like a huge misunderstanding and miscommunication. And since then, him and I have made up. We don't talk anymore, and we're definitely not following each other. We're not friends, and that's just what happens. That's what happens when people part ways. And you know, I'm not bitter about it, and I feel like a lot of people always come to me being like, oh my God, James is a good kid, and he does the best that he can, and he's always try to learn and be better. And it just bothers me that people always want me to drag him. Or I'm not a drama channel, I'm not TMZ, so don't come to me about anything that happens to James or Manny or Jeffrey or Laura or any of the big YouTube. Don't come to me, because I don't care. Unless they are doing something problematic, unless they are being racist or transphobic or being disgusting human beings, there is no reason for you guys to be coming to me being rude to any of them or making fun of any of them. Me and James cleared up the whole drama and situation the day after it happened, and people continue to use it against him. And it was fake as fuck for me to even post any of that stuff. And it was also insecure as fuck for me to be bothered so much by him unfollowing me. And him unfollowing me was him hearing other people in his ear and not coming to me about stuff. It was just a big miscommunication. And it sucks that we're not friends anymore. And it sucks that, you know, social media had to happen. I just ask that you guys leave me the fuck alone about him. And just like, I mean, the deed is done and it's always going to be talked about, but just like let it go. You know what I mean? I have no beef with anyone besides Jeffrey. I don't have beef with nobody except Jeffree Star, because there is no reason for him to be where he's at and be such a vile human being. Stop coming at me with James, Manny, any of these other motherfuckers, because I don't care. And that's real as fuck. I'm being as real as I possibly can be with y'all. And y'all can disagree or be mad at me in any sort of way you want to be mad at me. And then you're good. But I'm not going to join in on the bandwagon of hating someone that was ignorant and is trying to learn from it. You know what I mean? Anyways, moving on from that. I don't hate James Charles, so stop assuming that I do. Okay? Wavy MUA asks, what's the pettiest thing you've ever done? Oh, girl. One of the pettiest things I've ever done was back in 8th grade, there was this boy who kept bullying me. And I don't know what it is, but it always turned me on. I pretended to have a sister and I got his number off of Facebook. And I started sexting him as my sister, catfishing him because he didn't have my actual phone number. So I was pretending that my phone number was my sister's. I got his dick pics and yeah, I basically catfished a bully. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I hope I didn't make it too long. Don't forget to leave me some questions in the comment section down below so I can do it for another video at a later date. I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.